Welcome to Quiz Time. I'm your host Simon. Sit back, relax, and get ready for the next 100 quiz questions. Let's get started. Which Nobel laureate's pacifist stance sparked FBI surveillance throughout the 1950s? Linus Pauling, Enrico Fermi, or Albert Einstein? Albert Einstein is correct. The mysterious Collier brothers case revealed what extreme behavior? Multiple identity, hoarding, or espionage? Hoarding is the correct extreme behavior. Which chess prodigy's disappearance puzzled authorities for decades? Bobby Fischer, Mikhail Tal, or Boris Spassky? Bobby Fischer is correct. The Igmatic Project sign investigated which atmospheric phenomena? Aerial anomalies, radiation effects, or weather manipulation? Aerial anomalies. Which author's final manuscript was discovered decades after his death? Sinclair Lewis, Thomas Wolfe, or F. Scott Fitzgerald? Thomas Wolfe is correct. The cryptic Venona project decoded which wartime communications? Soviet intelligence, Japanese codes, or Nazi transmissions? Soviet intelligence is correct. Which Olympic athlete's gender was questioned for years? Alice Coachman, Stella Walsh, or Babe Didrikson? Stella Walsh is correct. The mysterious Room 40 operation influenced which peace negotiations? Suez Crisis, Korean Armistice, or Berlin Accords? Suez Crisis is correct. Which composer's 12-tone system revolutionized classical music? Arnold Schoenberg, Igor Stravinsky, or Aaron Copland? Arnold Schoenberg is the correct composer. The puzzling Gatlinburg UFO incident occurred in which mountain range? Rockies, Cascades, or Appalachians? Appalachians is correct. Which scientist's loyalty hearings became a national spectacle? Enrico Fermi, J. Robert Oppenheimer, or Edward Teller? J. Robert Oppenheimer is the correct scientist. The enigmatic Bermuda Triangle term was coined by which writer? Charles Berlitz, Ivan Sanderson, or Vincent Gaddis? Vincent Gaddis is the correct writer. Which baseball manager's psychological tactics bordered on manipulation? Walter Alston, Casey Stengel, or Leo DeRocha? Leo DeRocha is correct. The secret Operation Mongoose targeted which Caribbean leader? Fidel Castro, Rafael Trujillo, or Fulgencio Batista? Fidel Castro is correct. Which pianist's revolutionary technique defied classical conventions? Glenn Kolb, Van Cliburn, or Rudolf Serkin? Glenn Kolb is correct. The mysterious Kelly Hopkinsville encounter involved which entities? Government agents, foreign spies, or unknown beings? Unknown beings is correct. Which architect's organic philosophy challenged geometric modernism? Louis Kahn, Frank Lloyd Wright, or Philip Johnson? Frank Lloyd Wright is correct. The cryptic Project Gabriel studied which environmental threats? Nuclear fallout, chemical warfare, or biological weapons? Nuclear fallout was the correct threat. Which actress's sudden retirement mystified Hollywood insiders? Grace Kelly, Debbie Reynolds, or Kim Novak? Kim Novak is the correct actress. The puzzling Lonnie Zamora sighting was investigated by which agency? FBI, Air Force, or CIA? Air Force is the correct agency. Which economist theories challenged Keynesian orthodoxy? Paul Samuelson, Milton Friedman, or Friedrich Hayek? Friedrich Hayek is correct. The enigmatic Men in Black reports peaked during which decade? 1960s, 1950s, or 1940s? (1950s) is correct. Which swimmer's technique seemed to defy hydrodynamic principles? Johnny Weissmuller, Duke Kanamamuku, or Buster Crabbe? Johnny Weissmuller is the correct swimmer. The secret Operation Sunrise ended which European conflict? Italian campaign, Greek Civil War, or Battle of Berlin? Italian campaign is the correct conflict. Which philosopher's existentialism influenced American intellectuals? Albert Camus, Martin Heidegger, or Jean-Paul Sartre? Jean-Paul Sartre is correct. The mysterious Falcon Lake incident occurred in which country? United States, Mexico, or Canada? Canada is correct. Which golfer's mental approach revolutionized sports psychology? Barron Nelson, Ben Hogan, or Sam Snead? Ben Hogan is correct. The cryptic Project Grudge replaced which UFO investigation? Project Blue Book, Project Twinkle, or Project Sign? Project Sign is correct. Which novelist's paranoid themes reflected Cold War anxieties? Philip K. Dick, Kurt Vonnegut, or Norman Mailer? Philip K. Dick is correct. The puzzling Aurora incident allegedly involved what type of crash? Military aircraft, meteorite, or an airship? Airship is correct. Which conductor's interpretations challenged traditional orchestral performance? Leopold Stokowski, Arturo Toscanini, or Herbert von Karajan? Herbert von Karajan is the correct conductor. The enigmatic Project Stargate studied which human abilities? Psychic phenomena, memory manipulation, or physical enhancement? Psychic phenomena is the correct ability. Which runners' training methods seemed almost mystical? Mel Whitfield, Emil Zatopek, or Wes Santee? Emil Zatopek is the correct runner. The secret Operation Ajax overthrew which Middle Eastern government? Egypt, Iraq, or Iran? Iran is the correct answer. Which painter's color theories influenced commercial design? Paul Klee, Joseph Albers, or Vasily Kandinsky? Vasily Kandinsky is correct. The mysterious Chile's Whithead UFO was witnessed by which professionals? Airline pilots, meteorologists, or air traffic controllers? Airline pilots is correct. Which tennis player's serve defied biomechanical analysis? Poncho Gonzalez, Tony Trabert, or Jack Kramer? Poncho Gonzalez is the correct tennis player. The cryptic Operation Mockingbird infiltrated which American institution? Labor unions, universities, or media organizations? Media organizations is correct. Which choreographer's abstract ballet puzzled traditional audiences? George Balanchine, Jerome Robbins, or Martha Graham? George Balanchine is correct. The puzzling Travis Walton case involved which type of encounter? Government interrogation, foreign espionage, or alien abduction? Alien abduction is correct. Which mathematician's game theory influenced military strategy? Claude Shannon, John von Neumann, or Norbert Wiener? John von Neumann is correct. The enigmatic Project Grudge concluded UFOs were what phenomenon? Secret weapons, weather balloons, or misidentifications? Misidentifications is correct. Which boxer's punching power seemed scientifically impossible? Rocky Marciano, Sugar Ray Robinson, or Ezzard Charles? Rocky Marciano is the correct boxer. The secret Operation Bloodstone recruited which type of agents? Communist sympathizers, double agents, or Nazi defectors? Nazi defectors is the correct type of agents. Which poet's confessional style shocked literary circles? Sylvia Plath, Robert Lowell, or Anne Sexton? Sylvia Plath is the correct poet. The mysterious Lubbock Lights formation appeared over which state? New Mexico, Oklahoma, or Texas? Texas is the correct state. Which baseball player's shooting accuracy defied statistical probability? Bob Pettit, Dolph Sages, or George McCann? Bob Pettit is correct. The cryptic Project MK Ultra tested drugs on which subjects? Foreign prisoners, unwitting citizens, or volunteers? Unwitting citizens is correct. Which filmmaker's techniques influenced international cinema? John Ford, Billy Wilder, or Orson Welles? Orson Welles is correct. The puzzling Hill abduction case involved which type of vehicle? Government aircraft, foreign submarine, or unknown craft? Unknown craft is correct. Which scientist's cybernetics theory predicted computer intelligence? Claude Shannon, Alan Turing, or Norbert Wiener? Norbert Wiener is correct. The enigmatic Project Sign investigators reached which conclusion? Natural phenomena, Soviet technology, or extraterrestrial origin? Extraterrestrial origin is correct. Which football player's speed seemed to transcend human limits? Bob Hayes, Paul Hornung, or Red Grange? Bob Hayes is correct. The secret Operation PB Success toppled which Latin American government? Nicaragua, Chile, or Guatemala? Guatemala is correct. Which architect's brutalist style challenged aesthetic conventions? Le Corbusier, Louis Kahn, or Marcel Breuer? Le Corbusier is correct. The mysterious McMinnville photos showed what type of object? Metallic disc, weather balloon, or military prototype? Metallic disc is the correct object. Which race car driver's victories defied mechanical logic? Mike Hawthorne, Juan Manuel Fangio, or Alberto Ascari? Juan Manuel Fangio is the correct driver. The cryptic Operation Gladio established networks in which region? Western Europe, Southeast Asia, or Latin America? Western Europe is the correct region. Which jazz musician's innovations challenged musical boundaries? Miles Davis, John Coltrane, or Ornette Coleman? Ornette Coleman is correct. The puzzling Cash-Landrum encounter resulted in what medical condition? Radiation sickness, memory loss, or psychological trauma? Radiation sickness is correct. Which economist's development theory influenced Third World policy? Robert McNamara, Walt Rostow, or John Kenneth Galbraith? Walt Rostow is correct. The enigmatic Project Blue Book was headquartered at which facility? Area 51, Edwards AFB, or Wright-Patterson AFB? Wright-Patterson AFB. Which swimmer's butterfly stroke revolutionized competitive technique? Ford Kono, George Breen, or Bill Yorzik? Bill Yorzik is the correct swimmer. The secret Operation Pluto involved which Cold War infrastructure? Communication tunnels, missile bases, or radar stations? Communication tunnels is correct. Which photographer's documentary style influenced social consciousness? Dorothea Lange, Margaret Brooke White, or Walker Evans? Dorothea Lange is correct. The mysterious Gorman dogfight involved pursuit of what object? Soviet aircraft, weather balloon, or unidentified light? Unidentified light is correct. Which baseball pitcher's knuckleball defied aerodynamic principles? Hoyt Wilhelm, Early Wynn, or Phil Niekro? Hoyt Wilhelm is correct. The cryptic Operation Chaos monitored which domestic activities? Labor organizing, religious movements, or student protests? Student protests were the correct activities. Which novelist's stream of consciousness technique challenged readers? James Joyce, William Faulkner, or Virginia Woolf? James Joyce is the correct novelist. The puzzling Exeter incident involved multiple witnesses in which state? Vermont, Maine, or New Hampshire? New Hampshire is correct. Which theoretical physicist's quantum mechanics shaped modern science? Werner Heisenberg, Albert Einstein, or Niels Bohr? Werner Heisenberg is correct. The enigmatic Gondon report concluded UFOs had what scientific value? None, limited, or significant? None is the correct answer. Which track athlete's high jump technique seemed gravity-defying? Dick Fosbury, John Thomas, or Charles Dumas? Dick Fosbury is correct. The secret Operation Jedburgh deployed teams during which conflict? Korean War, Cold War, or World War II? World War II is the correct conflict. Which composer's prepared piano works challenged musical concepts? Henry Cowell, John Cage, or Harry Partch? John Cage is correct. The mysterious man-told UFO pursuit ended in what tragedy? Pilot death, aircraft collision, or ground casualties? Pilot death is correct. Which golfer's comeback after injury defied medical expectations? Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, or Byron Nelson? Ben Hogan is correct. The cryptic product artichoke studied which interrogation methods? Chemical enhancement, physical coercion, or psychological manipulation? Chemical enhancement is correct. Which dancer's modern technique revolutionized choreography? Jose Limon, Martha Graham, or Doris Humphrey? Martha Graham is correct. The puzzling Stephenville lights appeared over which state? New Mexico, Arizona, or Texas? Texas is correct. Which mathematician's incompleteness theorem challenged logical foundation? Alfred Whitehead, Bertrand Russell, or Kurt Gödel? Kurt Gödel is correct. The enigmatic Project Grudge was criticized for what approach? Debunking bias, limited scope, or excessive secrecy? Debunking bias is correct. Which tennis player's two-handed backhand revolutionized technique? Poncho Gonzalez, Poncho Segura, or Jack Kramer? Poncho Segura is correct. The secret Operation Gold involved tunneling beneath which city? Vienna, Berlin, or Moscow? Berlin is correct. Which artist's action paintings challenge traditional methods? Frans Klein, Jackson Pollock, or Willem de Kooning? Jackson Pollock is correct. The mysterious Marfa Lights phenomenon occurred in which state? Arizona, New Mexico, or Texas? Texas is correct. Which basketball coach's system revolutionized defensive strategy? Henry Iber, Joe Lapchick, or Adolf Rupp? Henry Iber is correct. The cryptic Project Grudge investigated reports from which sources? Civilian witnesses, intelligence agencies, or military only? Civilian witnesses is correct. Which architect's cantilever design seemed to defy structural laws? Frank Lloyd Wright, Eero Saarinen, or Louis Kahn? Frank Lloyd Wright is correct. The puzzling O'Hare UFO incident occurred at which location? Commercial airport, military base, or research facility? Commercial airport is correct. Which economist theory predicted technological unemployment? John Maynard Keynes, Friedrich Hayek, or Joseph Schumpeter? Joseph Schumpeter is correct. The enigmatic estimate of the situation classified UFOs as what? Technological, atmospheric, or interplanetary? Interplanetary is correct. Which swimmer's endurance feats seemed superhuman? Diana Nyad, Gertrude Adurl, or Florence Chadwick? Florence Chadwick is the correct swimmer. The secret Operation Northwoods proposed attacks on which targets? Soviet ships, Cuban installations, or US facilities? US facilities. Which philosopher's logical positivism influenced scientific method? Rudolf Carnap, Karl Popper, or Willard Quine? Rudolf Carnap is correct. The mysterious Phoenix Lights formation appeared over which state? New Mexico, Nevada, or Arizona? Arizona is the correct state. Which football player's versatility transcended positional boundaries? Johnny Unitas, Jim Brown, or Paul Hornung? Paul Hornung is correct. The cryptic Project Sign investigators were replaced for what reason? Controversial conclusions, budget cuts, or security breaches? Controversial conclusions is correct. Which poet's epic work redefined American literature? William Carlos Williams, Ezra Pound, or Wallace Stevens? William Carlos Williams is correct. The puzzling JAL Flight 1628 encounter involved which type of aircraft? Research plane, military fighter, or commercial airliner? Commercial airliner is the correct aircraft. Congratulations and well done on completing this quiz. Leave your score below in the comments, and as always, please like and subscribe to join us next time for some fun on quiz time.